Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy and today we're doing another Final Pour episode. If you're new to the channel, come on in. Hello, welcome. Yeah. All my returning viewers, I just suddenly got like this headache that sort of came in out of nowhere. I don't usually get headaches. I might get like less than a handful in a year, and it's seriously mild, but it just enough to sort of make the record skip a second. You know what I'm saying? So today's full review episode is going to be of the Glen Fohdry Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey, non-chill filtered, aged 12 years in Japanese oak, very rare Japanese Mizunara oak cask finish. It's on the other side, 47.1. That's a whopper. And in case you haven't seen it in the other full review episodes or whatever, here's the back end. There's not a lot to see on the bottom here, but there it is. If you want to stop that, read that, I'm drinking this. So, yep, it's a no brainer time. Just go ahead and pour it in there. So it's always like when you get the taller bottles, the pretty much standard profile bottles, it's a lot easier for me to gauge this final pour. For all my new viewers, Mr. Randy does a 3-part series when he does his reviews. Part 1, off the rip, get it home, crack it open, have my first pour, share my first impressions with you, because gosh darn it, that's what we do. Part 2, full review time. We drink it down about halfway, cork it, put it back on the shelf, let it sit for about 2 weeks-ish. I go online, I find as much and or as little as I possibly can. We bring it back, we talk about it, I score it. We continue to drink it because today, part 3, final pour, thusly named, we have the final pour compared to the first pour off the rip and everything in between. The Glen Fohdry, never heard of it before until I think roughly the third time I went into Total Wine, and this was recommended to me from a very distinguished gentleman who worked there. Very snazzy dresser, even as casual. You can definitely smell the oak in this Scotch. There is a slight sliver, a twist, if you will, of Scotch trying to blend in with that bourbon. So you get that sort of light, sort of sweetness that you would get from a good Scotch. And you also get that sort of deep richness you would get from a bourbon. The oakiness kind of comes in from both of them. So it was like, I guess you could say it was like double matured because they did it in American oak and then finished in oak. Well, it doesn't say how much each it is, but when you typically do a finish, it's usually a couple of years, maybe 2. So it's probably a 10-year-old Scotch that's been finished in the 12-year-old Japanese oak. Let's go ahead and get that under the nose. Yeah, it's got a really good nose. And it probably more like a 70-30 split between the bourbon and the Scotch. Smells pretty nice. Now, it definitely has turned down a little bit as we went down the bottle, which is acceptable and understandable. Let's go ahead and get that initial acclimation palating out of the way. That's nice. Dang it, that's nice. This is one of those Scotch that off the rip, it's not going to give you the best that it has to offer. It will give you the strongest. It gives you all its strength right there, you know, knuckle sandwich to the face. Off the rip is going to be the strongest. Mellows out and gets relatively nice, balanced right here in the middle section. But finally, when you get down to this final pour, it's relaxed and it's really opened up, and you're going to get the absolute best of it, at least in my opinion anyways. Okay, I think we're ready for that second one. got some pretty good viscosity. Transfers better on the mouth. On the palate, it's getting a lot of action on the tongue and the cheeks. Not so much anywhere else now. I can feel the back end heat starting to turn up a little bit. It's actually turning up rather quickly. Oh, it's definitely looking like it's going to push it too. The cheeks and the tongue. The cheeks are a little bit more than the tongue. The tongue, I think there's something wrong with my tongue. I think it needs a reset. While I work on that, let me set that down for a minute. I got. Go ahead and just finish that off real quick. All right. Beautiful nose. Has turned down a bit since the off the rip and the midsection. The palating has turned down a little bit as well, probably less so than the nose. I think I can do one more little one, then we'll do the finish. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that while you're there. That way, as soon as I finish a video and upload it, it comes to you. I'm starting to close in on the tail end of all the extra built-up content. I've been releasing several videos a day, every day, pretty solid since mid to late 2025. I've had these things built up for a while. Took some time off when we started doing the moving. Before we actually moved, we did a lot of packing and stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot of content being made, not a lot of videos being made recorded during that time. But then we picked it up and we moved out. And then during that transitional phase, I still continued to do some videos, but I kind of like slowed down a little bit, and probably going to slow down to releasing the content probably, I want to say about maybe one video a day, maybe one video a day every day of the week, or I might release like 2 videos every other day or so. I might go back to my original plan to do like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then, of course, holidays and special events. But once we get closer to that last bottle that I've got sitting on the shelf, yeah, hopefully I can run it a little closer to the chest. That way, whenever you see this video, it'll be like maybe a week after I've done it, maybe less, hopefully less. I'd like to be able to release a video and have it, I would like to finish a video, edit it, upload it, and released within a few days after actually, this part here. And that way, I can still remember a lot about it, even though I have nearly a photographic memory. It's, there are bits and pieces here that, I can't remember quite totally without having a little bit of help from notes. But I can remember far back enough to do the off the rip and other expressions. So let's go ahead and do this finish. Nice. It's nice. It's got nice, good strength of the bourbon. The oak coming in. There's a lot of oak and then some spice. And then it starts to mellow off and level out with some sweetness. Vanilla, caramel. Still got some oak and spice still hanging in there. You get this odd sort of other type of oakiness, woodness coming in there. And that's the Japanese oak finished. It's not quite your regular oak. It's not your American oak. It's not your French oak. I don't care for French oak. I just don't like it. It's just not my jam. Rubs me the wrong way, quite literally. So I've got a lot of cheek action going on here. Cheek, gums. The tongue is pretty much, it's tapped out. It's gone away for a while. A lot of cheek action. The back end, the heat on the back end, the warmth is it's a good solid 1. That's about it. Getting a lot of that nice, juicy fruitness, that light fruit, that like plum. I wouldn't say an apple, I'd probably say more like a pear. A pear has a little bit more of a sour, it goes more towards the sour way, while apple goes a little bit more towards the sweet way. It's like tartness, you know? Almost an apple, but I think it's more like a pear. And now the flavors have pretty much subsided, and I'm left with a lot of action on the cheeks and the gums, with barely a little bit of warmth in the back end. So there it is. The Glen Fohdry 12-year Japanese Mizunara oak cask finish. It was a nice experience. It was a very nice bottle. It was very nice. I enjoyed it very much. So, in the comment section, tell me, where are you at? What are you drinking? What's going on in the world of libations around you? And have you had the Glen Fohdry? Have you seen it? I know you might not be able to see it just anywhere, but there it is. Hit me up in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. This was a very excellent one.